Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixie Land. My name's Amy, and I'm an ordained minister, and we are in Bible study. We are in the NIV, and we are in the book of Esther, and we are in chapter 2. Esther made queen. Later, when the anger of King Xerxes had subsided, he remembered Vashti and what she had done, and what he had decreed about her. Then the king's personal attendants proposed, "Let a search be made for beautiful young virgins for the king. Let the king appoint commissioners in every province of his realm to bring all those beautiful women into the harem at the citadel of Susa. Let them be placed under the care of Hegai, Hegai, the king's eunuch, who is in charge of the women. And let beauty treatments be given to them. Then let the girl who pleases the king be queen instead of Vashti." This advice appealed to the king, and he followed it. Now there in the citadel of Susa was a Jew from the tribe of Benjamin named Mordecai, son of Jair, the son of Shimei, the son of Kish. Okay, now Saul was from Kish. Okay? So they're letting you know that they are related to those set of people, who had been carried into exile from Jerusalem by Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, among those who had been taken captive with Jehoiachin, a king of Judah. And it's got a footnote A. In Hebrew, Jeconiah, a variant of Jehoiachin. Jehoiachin was what he was renamed, and not even by Babylon. I think it was Necho. It was Emperor Necho of Egypt. So Mordecai had a cousin named Hadassah, Hadassah, whom he had brought up because she had neither father nor mother. This girl was also known as Esther, was lovely in form and features, and Mordecai had taken her as his own daughter when her father and mother died. So he took in his young girl cousin to raise her. So very gentlemanly, very good. When the king's order and edict had been proclaimed, many girls were brought to the citadel of Susa and put under the care of Hegai. Esther was also taken to the king's palace and entrusted to Hegai, who was in charge of the harem. The girl pleased him and won his favor. Immediately he provided her with beauty treatments and special food. He assigned her to 7 maids selected from the king's palace and moved her and the maids into the best place in the harem. So was very pleased with everything about this girl, who has now, of course, been raised by this cousin, who's like truly just trying to look out for her because she was just a girl. And in this society, if you don't have a guy to look out for you, you're going to be sold into like sexual slavery and crap. You got to have protection of other people, or you're deep in danger. And now she's been taken off. So you have to imagine where his mind is and what he's worried about, because I'd be worried. If it was like my nieces and nephews, oh yeah, I would. Esther had not revealed her nationality and family background because Mordecai had forbidden her to do so. He told her it wasn't safe. Every day he walked back and forth near the courtyard of the harem to find out how Esther was and what was happening to her. Okay? Before a girl's turn came to go in to King Xerxes. So before she could be presented, she had to complete 12 months of beauty treatments prescribed for the women, 6 months with oil of myrrh, and 6 with perfume and cosmetics. So, like, they fairly acknowledge, because of where they're harvesting from, it's not all beauty treatments are equal. Not everybody's treated their body the same. Not everybody's had the opportunity to do so. So, to be fair, everybody's getting exactly the same treatments for 12 months before the king will ever lay eyes on them. So she's there for a solid year for sure. Anything she wants was given to her to take with her from the harem to the king's palace. In the evening, she would go there, and in the morning, she would return to another part of harem to the care of Shashagas, S-H-A, so S-H-A-A-S-H-G-A-S. I mean, I'm going to spell it again since I started and stopped it so many times. S-H-A-A-S-H-G-A-S, the king's eunuch who was in charge of the concubines. She would not return to the king unless he was pleased with her and summons her by name. So she had already been, even though she had to go back there to keep getting the beauty treatments, she had already been moved as being prettier than the rest of them and more pleasing, for the king than other people who had been brought in at the same time. When the turn came for Esther, the girl Mordecai had adopted, the daughter of his uncle Abihail, to go to the king, she asked for nothing other than what Hegai, the king's eunuch who was in charge of the harem, suggested. And Esther won the favor of everyone who saw her. Like, I don't need special treatment, just give me whatever is normal. She was taken to King Xerxes in the royal residence in the 10th month, the month of Tebeth, Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign. Now, the king was attracted to Esther more than any of the other women, and she had won his favor and approval more than any of the other virgins. So he set a royal crown on her head and made her queen instead of Vashti. And the king gave a great banquet, Esther's banquet, for all his nobles and officials, he had proclaimed a holiday throughout the province and distributed gifts with royal liberty. Mordecai uncovers a conspiracy. When the virgins were assembled a second time, Mordecai was sitting at the king's gate. Okay, so that means that while the king gave this great honor and all this stuff, they were still virgins. The beauty contest was not yet over. So, everybody got to maintain, which is very nice. But Esther had kept secret, her family background and nationality, just as Mordecai had told her to do so. For she continued to follow Mordecai's instructions as she had done when he was bringing her up. So he's hanging out there, but nobody knows why, because nobody knows that they're related. Because nobody asked her what her nationality was, and she just didn't tell anybody. Since nobody asked, she didn't tell. During the time Mordecai was sitting at the king's gate, Bigathan, it's got a footnote, B, in Hebrew, Bigathan, Bigthan, was a variant of Bigathana. And Tirsh, Teresh, which there doesn't have a footnote for, two of the king's officers who guarded the doorway became angry and conspired to assassinate King Xerxes. So he uncovers a plot to kill the king. Uh-oh. But Mordecai found out about the plot and told Queen Esther, who in turn reported it to the king, giving credit to Mordecai. And when the report was investigated and found to be true, the two officials were hanged on the gallows. See? Or were hung or impaled on poles. Similar elsewhere in Esther. So not really sure if they were hung from a pole or impaled on a pole, because it says hung from a pole. So not like a tree, could be a gallows. Similar thing. All this was recorded in the book of the Annals in the presence of the king. So this was written history for sure in the book of the king. The next video is there is another plot that will be conspiring, but it'll be a plot against the Jews. If you want to find out what happens there, you're going to have to come back from the next video, friends.